I request everyone to be seated, please. Knowledge is the compass guiding us through uncharted territories, unlocking doors to limitless possibilities and understanding. It is the perpetual flame that fuels the journey of lifelong learning. A delightful morning to our esteemed speaker, Mr. S. Venkatesh Prasanna, Dr. Father Benny Thomas, Dr. Father Beju Casey, Father Vinod Michael, Dr. Joby Thomas, all in absentia, Dr. Raghunandan Ji in absentia, faculty members, and our dear Christites. Christ, deemed to be university, takes immense joy in presenting the latest edition of DAKSH, our annual flagship event, offering a fresh and exciting experience to all in attendance. DAKSH, the annual education and career guidance fair, curated by the Student Council, Christ, deemed to be university, stands as a comprehensive hub for all things related to education. Within the realms of DAKSH, you'll encounter exclusive opportunities, essential student guidance, diverse knowledge, and the ability to make informed choices about your educational and career pursuits. To signify our appreciation for Mr. S. Venkatesh Prasanna's presence, I would like to invite Dr. Shinto Thomas to present a small token of gratitude to him. Thank you, sir. Mr. S. Venkatesh Prasanna, a distinguished sales coach and trainer, brings over 34 years of expertise in the fields of sales, marketing, and training. With a mechanical engineering background and certifications in coaching and NLP, he has navigated illustrious careers at IOL Limited and other renowned direct selling companies. In 2014, he embarked on a new chapter, founding Sun Training System with a firm commitment to enhancing lives and empowering individuals in the realms of sales and personal development. Over 8 successful years, Venkatesh Prasanna has traversed the length and the breadth of the country. Certified in NLP, DISCs, and as a life coach, Sir has conducted over 20,000 hours of training in 5,000 workshops, leaving an indelible mark on organizations like Airtel, Coca-Cola, HDFC, and many others. We are honored to invite our distinguished speaker to the stage.
Hi. Good morning. So much they spoke about me. I'm still wondering whether I did it or not. The journey of 34 years, I don't know how it has gone, and I have been given 45 minutes to talk about 35 years. Can you hear me? Well, I think I will use this. Give me a minute to set myself. Can someone help me with this? Go like this? Hello. Hello. Check. Am I audible? Great. Wonderful. And is the system set? The laptop? Anyway, all of you from different backgrounds here? Commerce, arts? Yes? Okay. And all of you want to learn something about communication? Yes? Sure. So what is the first Most important thing about communication. What's the first thing? The letter C. Right? Okay, you want 45 minutes of a serious talk or 45 minutes of learning and a little fun? I wanted to be a lecturer. You know what? I was not selected because they said you don't know how to teach. But I've been teaching for the last 20 years now in the corporate sector. I attended about 10 interviews. I was rejected for lecturer position. When I started off to become a trainer, I attended about 80 interviews. I was rejected. The only reason I didn't communicate what I wanted to communicate at that point of time. This is what I realized. So communication, is it important or not? And all of you are good communicators? Okay. First, let me ask another question. All of you are good listeners? Pakka? Be very honest in answering this. I'm going to ask you a simple activity. Very simple activity which we are going to do. Sitting in the chair. All of you are good listeners? More or less we think we are good listeners, right? Can you all raise your hands? You said we were all good listeners. What was the question? Can you all raise your hands? Did I say please raise your hands? Get the point? This is how communication is actually taken. I think and I say something. You assume something. What happens? But still everybody thinks they are communicating. Many a times you have misunderstanding on WhatsApp. Yes, no. A friend writes to you, hey dude, what's up? Now you're not in a good mood. What's your problem? Whatever is up is up. Now he gets upset. He says, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me, there's something wrong with you. And that's how the conversation goes on. Not each other, not understanding what frame of mind the other person is. Happens? If a person, now you send a WhatsApp message, because that's the medium of communication these days, and the person doesn't respond for the next 5 minutes, what do you go through? What are the thoughts you go through? What are the emotions you go through? Now everybody is thinking various emotions, various thoughts. I can feel it here. Why has he not responded? What's wrong with him or her? Especially it's between a him and her, it's even more dangerous. Okay, great. So now, somebody can you tell me what is communication? Just one person to answer. Anybody from the crowd? Quickly. Or should I take, because I don't know people's names here. So anybody, what do you think is communication? According to you. We don't have much time. Chalo, then people will say communication is a medium of passing information from one to another, receiver, decoder, blah, 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 blah. This is what mostly people talk about communication. Communication is just not giving a message. There is a lot of emotion in the message. Yes, no? There's a lot of thought that goes behind every communication. Yes, no? Great. So then why communication is so important, especially for each one of you wanting to build your career? Yes? Yes? I want responses. If I get yes or no is also fine. But if you respond, then I know you are here. I keep doing this because now I'm quite used to doing virtual sessions where the people disappear. Online sessions. And here also sometimes physically you are here. Mentally, somebody may be in Jammu Kashmir also for all I know. Right. Now, communication involves being physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually present. And that doesn't happen in most of the classes, lectures. Yes? Be honest, yaar. Please, yaar. I told you. Huh? I've been in the training field. When people get into the corporate world, they get the job. There's a meeting going on. But they are not in the meeting. And then they receive phone calls in the meeting. They go out. They come back. They go out. They come back. And then what happened in the meeting? Minutes mujhe bhej dena yaar. Please send me the minutes. I will look into it. People, will they understand what has happened? Is that communication? So why is communication so important? Yeah, you. Why is it so important? Yeah, no problems. बैठ के ही बता सकते हो. Please sit down and let me know. Why do you think it is important? Especially for career. I'll run you through slides very quickly. Why do you think it's important? Why do you think communication is important? Complete the task. Great. Wonderful. Let's give him a big round of applause. Anybody else? Yeah. Very clearly. Wow. Great.
And present yourself in a manner that you want to be perceived in.
Very correct. Your idea goes clearly into the other person's mind, and you have presented yourself in the way that you want him to understand or her to understand or them to understand. Excellent. Give her a big round of applause. See, big crowd to speak is not easy, so I am appreciating. Appreciation is another part of communication, which most of us miss out. Yes, no? We do the other part of communication, depreciation. What the other person has done wrong. After 45 minutes here, there will be a lot of charcha. Whether Venkat sir did it this way, she could have done it that way. Fantastic. But come and stand here. Even after 20,000 hours of workshop, let me tell you, standing on a stage is not easy. You can ask any of the senior people here too. Is it easy, sir? There are some sort of, because every time it's a new audience. Yesterday a few days back, I was in PES college. A similar strength. It's a different audience. It's students, then participants. So communication, one has to be very, very clear as to what one wants to. And why? Because what were the earlier days of communication? Can anybody tell me? Earlier days? Paintings, pigeons. Okay, post, that's what. Postal services. Was radio a form of communication? Okay, what else? Newspaper. Super, fantastic. So radio, newspaper, TV, post, it went on like this. Telephones, telegram, and then movies also was a form of communication earlier. What about it today? Great. All of the previous are still there. Plus, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, all this, it sounds very familiar, sir. We seem to be excited to be listening to all these things. I don't know, many of us would have to wait for 15 days to get a letter during those days. Today it is not even 15 seconds. And still there is no response. Earlier, when the letter would come, somebody would sit down judiciously and write back immediately. Whereas now, hi, how are you? The response can come, sorry for the delay. After about 6 hours. Is it not? So why has the stress gone up these days? One of the reasons the stress has gone up is because the response is expected immediately. Earlier the stress was, okay, that he will sit down, he will write a letter, he will post it, and it will take a week, it will take 15 days, let me chill. Now also we can do that. Oh, maybe he is busy, let me chill. No. We don't. So communication, why is it important? OTT, apps, bots, and the latest. And the latest, which has been there. AI has been there in some form or the other. IVRs, recorded messages, right? Which has started long time back. There used to be a cassette recorder earlier. It responds immediately. Sorry, the person is not there. Please call back or leave a message. That is also a form of AI. And now AI has taken a much better, longer things. Now, what is the connection between career and communication? Can anybody tell me? Quickly. I won't delve very much deep into this. Tell me, career and communication, what is the relationship? You have studied, all of you are studying? Yes? Now you go for an interview. Do you need communication? You get the job. Do you need communication? Now you go and meet a client. Do you need communication? That's what I'm asking you. What is the relation? Without communication, now you're supposed to send a resume to the prospective client. What is that? Communication. All this. Now the client who is receiving your resume, have you made a study of that client's requirement to understand what is the need of the client before you send your resume? Is it important? Now what sort of communication is that? What is that? Indirect communication. Where do you find those data and information? On the internet. Without doing that, you send a resume. What happens? Rejected. You are not prepared about what could happen in the interview. What could happen? Is it serious? Is it a very serious matter? One is to know how to communicate. Second is what to communicate, why to communicate, when to communicate, how to communicate. So communication is a subject it can take almost 3 days to teach people. And to get them to inculcate the good process of communication could take 3 months. One of the questions you need to ask yourself, there are 2 types of communication. I was talking to Adhyant also today morning. One is called internal communication, another one is called external communication. Can anybody tell me what your understanding is this? Internal, external. Yeah? Yeah. Very good. Excellent. Give him a big round of applause. How important is it to talk to yourself? Okay. Now, communication usually misunderstanding. Why does it happen? Because one is to talk to yourself. One is to think what you are thinking. And also now get into the person what other person is thinking. Correct? But most of the time, what are we doing? You're doing interpersonal. Are you doing intrapersonal? Jadatar now, even if I am standing here, if I ask a question, most of you will be thinking, what could be the right answer in sir's head? It happens in your lectures also. What is happening? And everybody is thinking, if I know the right answer, if I tell it, wow, I will get a kudos. And the process of that thinking, we forget what the question is and what the answer is. In the process of getting the appreciation or the kudos. The first important thing is what you are thinking. And are you putting your message across correctly or not? Then wait for the other person to give his message before you even interpret it. Now tell me, if I tell you, in the fast-paced world of business and commerce, attending interviews, negotiating deals, collaborating with the team, interacting with clients, for all this you require to be very good communicator. And what preparation are you doing to become a good communicator, to build your career? And communication goes very much with your behavior, with your emotion, with your intelligence, everything. So how good a communicator are you? I'm putting a question to all of you. Can think about it after 45 minutes and think about it every day. To become a better communicator, what you need to do, especially for your career development. One, he said intrapersonal, talking to myself. Second thing is, when you are communicating, are you observing your way of communication or are you observing the opposite person's way of communication? Most of the time the opposite person. So your reaction would be based on the opposite person. Yes, no? So do you have control of your emotion at that point of time? So what's happening to your communication now? Especially when you go for an interview. All of you will be attending interviews very soon? Yes? Now when you sit in front of the interviewer, you're under stress when you're in an interview? Yes, no? Most of us are. You get on stage, you're in stress, always thinking what they may be thinking about you. What question is he going to ask next? Yes, no? And at the same time, you want to hide all those feelings which may be natural, which may not be. And the other person is like this. Tell me something about yourself. Now you're wondering, should I be serious or should I smile now? Hota hai ya nahi hota? Happens or doesn't happen? Now all these are the minute aspects of communication, my friends. Do we go so deeply into it? These minute aspects. Maybe we do it at home. Maybe we do it with our friends. If your friend is looking down, hey, what happened to you? Not feeling good, huh? Tell me. But when you go into professional, is this important? When we go into professional, is it important or not? Somebody says, no, it's not important. I can be just like a machine. They say, in communication, listen to what the person is saying, because listening is the 80% communication, 20% is talking. So listen to what the person is saying and listen to the whispers behind what he is saying. What do I mean by that? Listen to what the person is saying. Listen to the whispers behind what is being said. Because then there are three aspects. Now I'll take you to the three aspects of it. Introduction, interview. What is there in interview? Then you come to negotiating. Then you come to, these are all pictures. That's client interactions. When you go to meet a client, what is the client thinking? How is the client feeling? What does the client want? What does the client need? When you go for an interview, what does the prospective hirer need from you? Are you able to provide that? Are you able to understand what he is looking for? All this is communication. It's just not that you have done some degree, you put your certificate, and later on after 2-3 years, you want to switch your job. I go put my experience there, done. Is it like that? Today I am telling you it is getting more and more challenging, complicated, my friends. So become very good communicators, very good speakers, understanding. There's a lot of emotion, passion in communication. This is a subject which I have been trying to study for the last 20 years. Still, there is so much for me to gather on that particular thing. And in 45 minutes, I'm just giving you a sprinkling of it. Just a sprinkling of it. Whatever communication classes you attend, they talk about 3 factors, 3 V's. There are 3 V's. What are the 3 V's? What are the 3 V's of communication? Not heard about it? Nobody? Simple, vocal, visual, verbal. Vocal, visual, verbal. What is the difference? Verbal is what is being said. Whatever I'm saying, the words that I'm saying is verbal. If I say, hello sir, how are you? The words that I say is verbal. Vocal is what? The tone, the pitch, and the pause. There are 3 aspects of vocal. Okay, whatever I want to say now, I'm going to talk to you about vocal, visual, and verbal. Is that okay? If I don't pause in between, is that okay? And today I'm going to talk to you all about communication. Communication is a fantastic subject, and all students of you must be in your career doing fantastic communication. And because of that, which you should know about vocal, verbal, and visual. Visual is something which you're going to talk about body language. If I speak in that speed, does it work? Okay, now I'm going to stand like this. Today I'm going to talk to you about vocal, visual, and verbal. Vocal is what I say. Visual is what you are seeing. Will it have any effect? So verbal is only 7%, what you are saying. Okay? Visual is 55%. If I don't do this body language, will it have an effect? And the tonal aspect is 38%. You want to note down, you can note down. It's time, very little time for the slides. That's why I'm telling you everything. Verbal is 7% of the communication only. Vocal, the tone in which I am saying, is 38% of the communication. So how you're coming across in an interview, how you are talking to the client, you're selling a product. When you're selling a product, how convinced are you about that product? If you're not convinced of the product, you'll say, sir, please take this. No, sir. What, sir? Very wonderful product, sir. Somebody will buy. No, right? When you are talking about yourself to a prospective employer, how will you speak? Sir, you have to take me, sir. I am one of the best candidates, sir. Can you do that? That also makes a huge difference. So, how well you are pitching yourself in your communication depends on how well you are prepared. Now, 3 V's I told you. I told you about 3 V's. There is one more V. Can anybody guess what is that V? Many times it is not told in many communication sessions. I recently realized this V is also very important. The V stands for vocabulary. जानता तो बोलता सर, क्यों नहीं बोला? If you know it, open up. If you're wrong, it's okay. See, one more aspect of communication is listen, ask, speak out. बाद में, I should have told this, yaar. That should not happen. That should not happen. And somebody else tells it, it's even worse. He stole away from me. Okay. On the lighter side, many guys have missed out beautiful girls because they have not communicated. मुझे पहले बोलना था यार. I missed that girl. Same. What is a missing link here is communication. Accept it. Sometimes the girl also misses out. There was a beautiful trainer who was a good friend of mine, he's in Delhi. He says, do not hesitate to ask. Even if you're rejected, it is okay. At least you have done the sahas or the courage to ask. And I think it's very beautifully said, ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So asking is communication. Yes, no. I want a loud yes here. Huh? So that the person next to you also should get up. There are some who maybe, it's a beautiful hall, sir. Very beautiful hall and good for taking the afternoon 11 to 11:45 siesta. So the yes should come very loudly. In communication, are you ready to ask? Yes or no? Are you ready to open up? Yes or no? Focus on what? What are the three things? We, verbal, vocal, visual is the body language. Now, body language is a big subject by itself. And I'm sure all of you understand body language. Yes, no? That is the one which gives you the cue whether the person is happy, not happy, sad. And there are something called as poker body language. Poker is a game where people don't show their expressions. Yeah, tell me. Tell me something about yourself. That's how HR people will be. You have to go through that to be a good communicator. The rest of the things are all, I told you, job interviews. Be well prepared for a job interview. Professional networking. When you go into various, here in the students community, you do networking with all the students? Yes, no? Social media, Facebook are wonderful platforms for networking and building a strong network rather than just putting likes and dislikes. LinkedIn is a very good platform to build your professional network. Connect with people from different industries, start communicating, engaging, talking to them, understanding what they need. The moment you start doing it now, by the time you finish your course, you're ready to talking to many, many big people. And your written communication skills also improves because of that. But one thing is, are you ready to do it? Yes, no. Or should you do it? Yes, no. If you want your career to grow, yes, how many of you people want your career to grow? Okay. How many people want to grow? There's one person who wants to grow. Okay. There are two types of growth. One is called self-growth, internal growth, personal development. The other one is this growth. Many people take a job, relax, and they start growing. That's the sign of prosperity, they say. Communicate for professional networking. Where can you do that? In exhibitions, online meets, and other platforms. Then we come to team collaboration. When you're working in a team, do we need to collaborate? Do we need communication there? Yes? Just an example here. It was my mistake. And I, being a communication coach and trainer, sometimes we do make these mistakes. I usually ask the place where I am going to, where is it, what is the address. Anyway, they said they will pick me up today morning. And I assumed it would be 10 o'clock in the morning. Right. Later on in the morning, I get a message, sir, are you ready, coming to pick up at 9 o'clock? So there was a miscommunication. I did not ask. What happened? Fortunately, I get up at 6:30, finish my workouts, be ready by 7:30. I always keep an hour and a half extra for myself for any emergency. So when I got the call, it took me about 15-20 minutes to get ready. And by 9:15, I was ready and we were here. What if I was not ready? What would have happened? I wouldn't be able to be here on time. If I wouldn't be able to be here on time, what would happen? Negative impression. And when the negative impression, what does that further cause? Depression. So communication and teamwork, everybody has to coordinate accordingly. If one person, I told the person, it's not your fault, it's my fault. I should have asked you, what's the agenda? No, sir, he said, no, I should have told you, this is the agenda. Now, both ways, we agreed upon it and done. We negotiated, okay, this future it will not happen. So this is a small incident which happened just today morning because of this miscommunication. And it is going to happen with each one of you, my friend, if you ASSUME. Now you break that word, ASSUME. It makes an ass of you and me. So please do not assume, ask. That's also very important. So in team, working in teams. Myself and the person who got me here were working like a team. Right? That in that team miscommunication, problems could happen. Great. But then what happens is when we rush, we tend to forget things, we miss out things if you are not prepared. If my shoe was not ready, my socks is not ready, everything goes for a toss. So be prepared. Preparation, communication. Client relations, I already spoke about it. It's a continuous improvement process. What do you mean? See, communication is okay, I learned communication today, I am going to become the best communicator. No, my friends. It is a continuous improvement process. Like, I hope, is the sound system working for this? Is it connected to the sound? I'll see if I can play this video for you on continuous improvement. And only with continuous improvement, how does it work? Watch this. It's a very nice, beautiful one about a kid. I'm sure you would have all seen this. Communication is also like this. You need to keep practicing, you'll keep making mistakes, and you'll keep learning. Okay, what happened? Why is it not coming? It's not working? What's the problem? Okay, this I got it. Now it will work. See. थोड़ा सा technological glitch होगा. It's connected, but there are some. It's okay. This audio doesn't require an audio. See, continuous improvement. Every time it is kept on trying. You need to keep on trying. Many of us don't allow ourselves to try like this. We need an encouragement from someone. Focus. So how did you enjoy the video? Are you ready to go for this continuous improvement like this? On yourselves? See, nobody can push you there. Nobody can push you. You need to push yourselves. I spoke about this to you people. What is said, the tone in which it is said, and our expressions. This is an equation coined by a famous behavioral scientist called Mehrabian. It's called the Mehrabian equation. 55, 38, 7%. So what you say sometimes is not important. How you say it is important. And many a times, so let us say myself and your name was? Advay. Okay, myself and Mr. Advay are talking. And what, Mr. Advay? Why are you behaving like this? Sir, you're getting angry. Mia, I'm not getting angry. You are observing me getting angry. But I cannot see myself. And immediately with this thing, sir, what say you're speaking like this? Advay, behave yourself. No, I am behaved, sir. You're only not behaved. This is how the communication happens. Are we observing our body language, our expressions, our tone in many of the conversations? Think seriously. Are we going so that awareness, what we say, internal communication or intrapersonal communication, is that happening constantly with you? No, right? Now you are understanding why some communications can go wrong. Because your expression has changed. The other person can see your expression and he changes his expression based on your expression. So is communication a very simple topic now, my friends? All of you said you know what is communication, right? But is it as simple as it looks? What will you do now with this learning? Improve ourselves in relation to the other person. Stop thinking what others are thinking. Start thinking first what you are thinking. Use the brains for our thinking. Most of us are thinking what others are thinking. Most of the time. And we spend less time what we are thinking. So communication here, then we come to the body language and then vocabulary. Another thing is called the art of listening, which I already did the activity in the beginning. Now I will ask you the question. We'll see what learning. Can you all raise your hands? Excellent, sir. I think my class is successful. Okay, wonderful. The sound, before I go now, I'll tell you a story because the video, the sound is not playing. I will not play a very interesting video. I have another 4 minutes more to close at 11:45. I want to listen to a story. There was a carpenter, a very, very, very popular carpenter. Right. Now this carpenter with years and years and years of experience had become one of the most expert person and very much in demand of what you call his profession. Over a period of time, he started getting old and he wanted to hire an assistant. So he hired Mr. Adyant as an assistant. I like to take a general person as an example, it becomes easier. Now Mr. Adyant is a very curious, very wanting to learn a lot. And definitely I'm sure all of you are working with some experienced person. You would like to gather a lot of information from that person. Learn. Now Adyant is the type of person asking a lot of questions. Even while coming in the car, he was asking me a lot of questions. What can be done? How this can be done? That. Now he wanted to learn more from the carpenter. And then he kept on asking questions. Carpenter was very much used to working all by himself. So when somebody asks him questions, what could happen to the carpenter? Quite irritated? He was getting irritated. Still he was keeping patience because he was old, he needed help. And this apprentice, Mr. Adyant, was very serious in learning. Every day he will ask him 100 questions, learn 100 things, go back home very happily. One day, somebody wanted to build a huge college like this. So they called the carpenter for doing all the woodwork. The carpenter went there. Mr. Adyant also has gone with them. They have pitched their product. This is how we will do it. This is how we'll design. This is how the woodwork will be. And the management of the college was very happy. They gave the order to the carpenter. Now the more happier person was Adyant because he said, such a big project. I get to learn lots of things from this carpenter. But the carpenter was thinking, yeah, I need to do a good job. If this person keeps disturbing me like this, it's going to be very, very difficult. So Adyan says, sir, congratulations, we have got this beautiful project. Let's make this college the best college with the best carpentry so that we get more orders like this. The carpenter says, Adyan, listen, we will do this project on one condition. You cannot be there. Sir, why? Because you disturb me a lot. I cannot think creatively. No, no, sir. I will not disturb you. I will not ask you questions. Chalo, give me a promise. Give me a promise. You will only follow instructions and not ask me anything. Are you all listening? Follow instructions, not ask me anything. Then this promise I will allow you to. You just observe and learn, because I want to give the best to this college. Done. No, Adyan thinks, even if I don't ask, I'll get to lot. Let me be silent. Promise, sir. I hereby promise you that I am not going to ask you anything. The project is on. He is very restless. He doesn't know what to do, but he cannot ask. He's made a promise. He's like, not like these days boys, promise kar diya, tod diya. Nahin. He is very, very strong on that. He's come in with a lot of good culture. One fine day, the project is done about 70%. The management comes, has a look, and there are some big wooden blocks which need to be fixed with big nails. Big wooden blocks with big nails, which requires a big, nice, solid hammer. The carpenter can't lift it himself. So now he says, Adyan, come here. I will give you the instruction, just follow whatever I am telling you. He takes the big nail, puts it against the wood, like this, and he says, are you ready? Hit on the head. Now, Mr. Adyan is in doubt. The head of the nail or the head on the carpenter's head? Promise? What's the promise? So don't take such promises in communication. What happened? He hit on the carpenter's head. No carpenter, no project. Okay. So please, what is the main learnings of today? Quickly. One learning or two learnings? Quickly. Don't hesitate to ask. Fantastic. Very good. What else? 3 V's plus one more V. Verbal, vocal, visual. Now tell me all these aspects which, when you go for an interview, when you go to the client, when you go to dealing with team, will it help or not? Use this basic things. Be sensitive to the other people's emotion. Communicate, connect, and have a fantastic career ahead. All the best. Thank you.
I extend sincere appreciation to Sir for his enlightening discourse. Undoubtedly, today's session has provided us with profound insights and abundant knowledge. To our esteemed audience, it is now our privilege to invite your queries for Sir. If you have a question, kindly raise your hand and our volunteers will promptly provide you with the microphone for an engaging interaction.
Yeah.
Sir, do you have a bunch of tips that you can give to us that we can implement as actions so that we can begin on our bettering communication journey?
Definitely. Bunch of tips, especially on listening.
Right.
Yeah. One is, whenever you are listening, stop thinking. Two is, have a pen and a paper ready for listening. Jot down the points so that you can reiterate to the other person what has been spoken, whether you have understood it or not correctly from the other person's perspective. One is, stop thinking. Two was write
Write
down
it.
what has been. Third thing is after you have listened and you have written down, paraphrase. You know what is paraphrasing? Repeating what the other person has said in a language that both of you understand. It can see not the exact same words. Like you asked me, can you give me some tips on communication? Correct? Is it the right thing? Then am I giving you the tips now
Yes.
on listening?
Yes.
So that means we are on the same page.
Right.
I am paraphrasing with you. And finally, one more thing in the communication process is summarize what has been spoken. Now you asked me some tips on listening. I gave you saying that important aspect of communication is listening, and I gave you 3 tips on that.
Right.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Because say I said listening is 80%. What you are going to say is 20%. Yes, sir.
So, how
Yeah, please. Yeah.
so how is it possible that we can make our impact like in a like seminar or any hall? How to make our own impact there? Like
I'm understanding you. Like, suppose I'm standing here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a seminar.
like how to communicate it properly towards people that people listen to you interestingly and like have like you keep an impression towards them.
Very good. There are some plenty of points here. There are plenty of points. Point one is either you build a credibility. Whatever I think those people had spoken so much about me, which I still feel I'm yet to reach there. Right. Build a credibility so that when people come, people are looking forward to listen to you. When you come on stage, create an impact with either humor. It should be very genuine, not directed at the audience, could be directed at you. Yeah, you know what? कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. Created. Or maybe start with a question, a rhetoric we call that. What do you think is communication? Now everybody started thinking, that means their attention is there. Some people may be sitting like that. You can't do anything with those people. 70, and here standing in a seminar, 70% of the people are up, means it's okay for you. Or you start with a story. Either you end with a story or start with a story. What did I do? Ended with a story. The story brought everybody to attention, yes, no? All are still thinking of the carpenter and saying, I don't want to eat with the carpenter. So you start with a story, start with a question, or start with humor. One, maintain the energy level from start to finish. It could be 45 minutes, it could be 1 hour, it could be 8 hours. Consistency in your presentation maintains the impact. One. The second one is, when I am speaking, you will notice I will pause in between. This pause also wakes up some people. Because what happens is, if you're continuously speaking, that becomes like a lullaby. He goes to sleep. You pause in between. Many lecturers also do that. They suddenly become silent. The person is sleeping. What happened? Everything is so silent. Because that is how the mind works. Right? Or I showed a video. So we need to mix or get the audience to stand up and say, yes, what's your name? Raghav. Why don't you tell me something? What do you think here? Out of the 3 Bs, which B did you like? Now what happens? The other person will be wondering, yeah, I don't want to be in Raghav's place. That's again creating an impact. So there are different ways to do it, and it comes with practice, my friend. Okay? Great. Thank you. Yes, ma. Yeah. Directly saying no is very hurting. Okay. I can understand that After hiring, sending them is even more difficult. No, you say that person is not suitable for your organization. You felt it. Correct? So you have to politely, this is called assertive communication, where you politely say, excellent, you have a very good background. But somewhere what I am looking for, and you will not be there fitting. Unfortunately, I don't want you to come in, and later on we don't fit, and then you will want to quit. You will be not in a position to quit because of various commitments. So I'm so sorry. I wish I could take you. Huh? That's it. That means you're not even very clearly told him, this position, somewhere the match is not happening. I'm extremely sorry. I wish you all the best. And let me see if I can find out anybody else with any other startup. If there's a word, I will let them know. It's not a commitment. It's not a commitment. If anybody comes across and your resume fits in there, I may put it across. When can I call you? He will say, no, you don't call me. If the fit is there, I will call you. Otherwise, I'm telling you, my friend, thank you so much. It was good knowing you. And if you tell him there itself, it's much better. Correct? Sometimes you say, we will get back to you. That's the worst thing that can happen to any candidate. I have not done it in my career. We'll put you on hold. And then they call your HR team. The HR team says, ma'am has gone out. We will let you know. 1 week, 2 weeks. Is he not wasting his time waiting for your call? Is this time not precious? So by saying no, you're not hurting him. You're freeing him. And tell him you're free. You're free to go and look for some other opportunity. I wish you all the best. I really feel for you. But this is not happening. Be very bold in that. There's nothing wrong. You're not being... See, you're finding it... Why is that guilt trip? Why are you on that guilt trip? Why do you want to continue on the guilt trip? Finish it there. Got it? Yes. Frame the words. Maybe take some time. Please wait outside. We'll get back to you. We'll just wait outside. Sit and think what words you want to frame. And say, please come inside. No, we don't find you a fit here because of various reasons. We are looking for a specific type of role. Thank you so much. Okay. So if you are not able to frame immediately, you are able to have that time here in an interview. Take that time and frame it and tell him. Reframe. It's called, instead of saying no, reframe your words. Don't have to say no in one word. You can say it in 5 words also. But don't say we will get back to you. And then you don't get back to him. That's even worse. Yes, no? It has happened to me number of times. And then rejections became a part of. People become stronger. Some people become weaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
So here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sir. I'm Shriyans. Sir, I have a query or, in a sense, an insight to gain from you. What are the few things that you keep in mind when you either do a sales pitch or convert your leads to prospective clients? Is there a structure you go in with? And what are those few aspects that you really keep in mind to trigger a person to convert the sale?
Okay, excellent. First thing is, have you understood the need of the customer? I call it read the need. If anybody wants to buy a product, okay, let us say you want to buy a product, you would have recognized the need for the product for yourself. You would have evaluated options, or the pitch has to be without anything. I come to you, if I don't understand your need, how much ever I pitch, it is not going to happen. So first thing is, I should be able to understand what is it that you are looking for in the product. Is it addressing the pain points? I call it pain points. Or most of the people call it pain points this day. Is it addressing my product? Is it addressing all the needs and your requirements? Once I know that, I am going to start preparing my pitch based on your requirement. Not I want to sell my product. I have to fit my product to you. Correct or no? So my preparation will happen based on that, and my pitch is also going to happen based on that. And many a times, by doing it a number of times, maybe you do it 100 times, you will know exactly what this person requires, what that person requires. And then you tailor make your talk based on the need and the requirement there. There is no hard and fast. They say, no, have a sales script. Have a sales script. Go and push this sales script. You need to change the script at times. You need to adapt. When you do a cold calling, you don't even know who is on the other side. So first you have to find out who is the other person, whether they have a need for that product or not. If you don't have a need, no. And how your communication is. So I am here to give you this particular product. Many people start with their product. I would like to know what is that you are doing, sir. If you noticed, when I started today, I started with, do you know what is communication? It's a question. Why do you think communication is important? So sir, I have a product. I would like to discuss about this product with you, but first I would like to find out what exactly is it going to match your need or not. Yeah, please come down, let's have a discussion. Get the point? No, I have a product, sir. It's going to be fantastic for you, sir. It's going to be beautiful for sir. This product, though, ultimate, sir. Arey Baba, I don't want it, no. Then how will you pitch? The moment, see, one of the things you should know is ask questions to get an yes from the other person. We call it the yes technique in selling. So, do you have a connectivity issue if you're selling? He says, no, I don't have a connectivity issue. Okay, sir, how is your Wi-Fi and broadband working? Oh, there is a problem with my broadband. Excellent, sir. What if I come and show you my broadband technology, which is state of the art? Now you have got his interest. Got the point? Once you have got his interest, you know what to pitch to him. Every time there are few questions to bring in yes in the mind of the person. Straight away, if he says no, the moment a no gets into somebody, will you be able to remove the no? Even if you go and propose, hey, I'm in love with you, and the person says no, then you stand upside down, it becomes very difficult to convince them. See, this is, yeah, tell me. Done? Clarified? Any more?
Yeah. Got it, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. So understand, need is very important today. Pain point, see, everybody sees WIIIFM. It means what is in it for me. WIIIFM, what is in it for me. If I am able to give something that is in it for you, you are ready to take it. I want to give it to you. You say, no, I don't want. Do whatever you want. Finished.
A symbol of our appreciation for the invaluable contribution he has made to this event. I would like to invite Dr. Joby Thomas, the Dean of the Christ University Yeshwantpur campus, to kindly come onto the stage and present the memento to Sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yes. I would now call upon Aishwarya to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and honored dignitaries, it is with immense gratitude that I stand before you today on behalf of Christ deemed to be University. I extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed director, Dr. Father Benny Thomas, dedicated associate director, Dr. Father Biju Casey. Special thanks to campus administrator, Father Vinod Michael, all in absentia. Dean of the University, Dr. Joby Thomas, the Associate Dean, Dr. Raghuvandan Ji, in absentia, and our outstanding facility management and IT department team have been working in the background to ensure that the event is a success. Your collective efforts have elevated this event, shaping a memorable experience for our academic community. We are deeply grateful to all those who contributed to the smooth running of this event, including the discipline committee members for helping in hospitality and audit management, Dr. Shinto Thomas, and Dr. Anu K.M. in absentia for constant guidance and support. Lastly, our Student Council volunteers for working effortlessly with utmost enthusiasm. A big thank you to our wonderful audience for their enthusiastic participation. May you all return home with new insights and a renewed sense of perspective that will help you get a better grasp of your unique journeys. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful day full of inspiration and learning in the future. Thank you. I request everyone to rise as the dignitaries leave.